Hi, welcome to Behind the Headlines. I'm Alyssa Fritzlaff and this is Nicholas Duck. Today we're sitting down with Meg Ferguson, President of Netball at Neerim the Cats, and Brent Mounsey, he's the senior coach of football.
Yeah, so we're well and truly into pre-season by now. Round one, less than a month away. I guess what's the feeling around the Cats?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, we've been training. We had a couple of runs pre-Christmas for football. As the season obviously went a little bit longer with finals, and then there was a footy trip and so on and so forth. So we had a couple of runs before Christmas, and then we decided to give the guys a decent break because it sort of feels like a perpetual season sometimes. So, so we started again at the last week of January, and we had our first practice match last night. So we're back into it. It's been good.
And what about the netball? How are you guys going? When did you start pre-season?
Yeah, roughly the same too. We had a couple of hit-outs before Christmas, then had a break, then got straight back into it end of Jan and been really working hard. And we had our first practice match last Thursday.
Amazing.
Really well. Yeah.
Terrific. And have you got A, B and C grade?
Yes, we have.
Yep, fantastic. Did you do trials or did you have...
Yeah, we've had some trials. We had to make some cuts. So we had some trials. The girls worked really hard. A, B and C aren't really set just yet, but we have a squad. Fantastic. So we're all still working hard to get the spots for A and B and C.
Yeah, great. And what does a general pre-season training look like for the football? And then we'll go to the netball.
Yeah, look, we put a running program out for the month that the guys aren't in touch with the club. And then all of our stuff during the onus is on the guys to do their own fitness work. So a lot of the stuff that we do at training is all around match simulation and skills work. So we figure that our ethos is that footy's a part of life. It's not the only thing that you do. It's just something that we try to do for fun. But while we're there, we compete and do as best we can. So a lot of the stuff that we do is all with footballs and tactical stuff, pretty much all pre-season. So yeah, we don't often put the footies down and go for a run anymore, which would have been good when I was playing a long time ago. But it just means the guys are touching the footy a lot more.
Yeah, does that seem to be really working with the guys, having that separation sort of?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's all, particularly over the last couple of years, our focus has been just around having balance and making sure that it's an enjoyable place to be, and working together. So it's sort of just building a bit of a culture of everyone. We're trying to build a culture of the whole club to work together, football, netball. We've actually got a footy netball training night next Tuesday. So
fantastic.
we're trying to do a lot of stuff together and just have that balance. A lot of the guys have got families, and then there's the younger guys that want to eat, live and breathe it, but we've just got to make sure that we keep it, balance being the operative word,
What does that look like, the football netball training session?
Well, I think Christy rang me the other night and just said we want to. She leads a lot of it, which is great. And we just have a session at Voyage down at the gym there and get everyone together and do a bit of a cross training session. And then Saturday night after we're playing Coralline, we're planning on having a bit of a get together and maybe head to Five Aces Brewery. There's a plug for Shaggy. Go and have a couple of beers in Neerim South, and it should be good.
Which is great. There's a lot of families that are together at the Cats, so it's really great, and partners get to spend time together, training and socially. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Amazing, terrific. And did you want to go ahead explaining what the netball kind of looks like?
Yeah, we do a fair bit of fitness pre-season, but we also then put a lot of match play into practice as well. And we also split up a lot as well. We go into goalers, mid-quarters and defenders and work on things that we want to improve on through the season. It's been looking really good.
Amazing. And maybe did you want to give us a rundown of what the coaching teams look like for each of you?
Yeah, sure. We have Christy back in A grade, which is fabulous. She's been amazing for the club. B grade is myself. So I'm stepping up from C grade last year up to B grade. And then we have Casey Timken, who's just all round amazing. She's our C grade coach.
Yeah. Terrific. And has there been any movement, or is it pretty much the same?
It's pretty much the same. We had our B grade coach taking a break this season, so we had to find Casey to come in and step up and coach again. But it's roughly the same, so it's all looking really good.
Terrific.
In terms of off-season player movement, I guess, who's new? Who's come in?
Yeah, we've picked up. We haven't because we've got so many kids coming through, we've actually got, because our under 18 side won the premiership last year, we've actually got 9 kids that have come up and stayed, which is amazing to have that sort of retention, and probably most of them could play senior footy anywhere. We're obviously lucky to be in a position of having a strong team. So we had 2 guys play in the practice match last night that were out of the thirds last year, who did really well. And the guys that played in the development or reserve side actually were probably in the best on ground in that as well. So we're in a really lucky spot with that. So we didn't really go too hard with recruiting. We have got Tomo Kroll back this year, who missed last year with a back injury. He had the whole season off, so adds to our forward line. We've picked up Jack Blakey from Bunyip, who's been training really well. We rested him last night just because he had a few injuries last year, and he's been training really well. And there's been a few other guys that we've picked up left just to fill roles, but we haven't lost too many. We've only lost 1 or 2. And then we've picked up a couple, so the nucleus of the side is pretty much the same.
And the coaching staff?
Yep, so myself obviously senior coach, Tom Muir is the senior assistant coach again. Cody Wilson is playing assistant coach again and our senior captain, but he and Jess have been over in North America since November. They've gone on a bit of a trip, so we're expecting to have them back. Well, we don't really know, but hopefully early in the season before the second half.
Yeah.
He'll come back in. Matt Irwin is our chairman of selectors, and Greg Fusinado has taken over from Jack Halligan as the reserves coach. So, which is great because he knows a lot of the younger kids. He's coached them in their junior footy in the past. So we really want to develop that team, and it's going to be a lot of those kids that are going to have to bide their time a little bit, but it's just having that balance of making sure they're engaged and want to stay at the club, because we do have a couple of older guys over the next couple of years that will drop off. But we want to make sure that those guys are well engaged, and when they're ready to go, they're ready to go.
And Meg, with the new faces on the court, will we be seeing anyone new?
There's a few new faces. Obviously, we've got a couple of pregnancies from our A-grade team, so we've had to have a look around, but it's really exciting. We've got a few new faces there, and it helps filter down through the grades as well. So there's a couple of spots there that people are vying for A-grade. So trainings and practice matches have been very interesting. So
yes, quite intense.
Yeah, it's been good. So but it's all looking fabulous. Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to, ask. So last year, we saw an absolutely dominant year from both the A-grade netball and the senior football. I believe there was only 1 loss between the 2 of your teams.
Yeah, that was
letting the team down.
In a final.
Yeah, come on, mate, letting the team down. But I guess coming back for a new season after having such a brilliant year in both netball and football, I guess, how do you keep that fire burning? How do you get that desire back up to go again?
From the netball side of things, we're pretty hungry. Obviously, we've had a very long drought of losing and being down the bottom in A-grade especially. So there's a hunger there to keep it going, like in the past where the Cats, winning so many premierships in a row. We just want to put that out there and do the same as those past players have done. So yeah, we're all pretty hungry and ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're the same. I think you don't often sit there and say we're going to win the premiership this year, but we obviously have goals that we break down throughout the season. Our aim is to finish in the top 3 again and then see where we go. But yeah, the guys are all, it's the same thing. It's not often that you get a group together where everyone gels off field, on field. There's a friendship group there. It's quite close, so we think that those relationships that the guys have built will, when times get tough, they can draw on that and push through. So we want to continue going as well, and you can't be complacent because from what we've seen, every team in the league has improved this year, and we don't expect to go through undefeated this year again. We didn't last year, obviously losing a final, but and we only just scraped in the grand final, so it wasn't an easy ride by any stretch, but we're expecting to do well again, and the guys are certainly keen to continue on.
Yeah, and I just wanted to throw it back a bit, because I know I touched on that 1 loss in finals you did mention.
Yeah.
I guess after going undefeated through the entire home and away season, only to sort of lose that first final. How do you, as a coach, how did you sort of navigate that? Because that would have been a bit of a challenging time.
Yeah, look, I think it's probably. I don't go by the adage we needed to lose a game. I think it doesn't matter if you're winning, you're winning. So you don't need to lose. We put pretty much everything that could have gone wrong in a game went wrong. we had someone sent our key defender Matt Edwards sent off in the first 5 minutes. We had Josh White dislocate his knee. We had lots of other things go wrong throughout the game. We were kicking against a 5-goal breeze. Just everything went wrong. And we actually won the last 3 quarters of the game. It was just the first quarter that we lost. So you can take positives out of what had happened. And Bullen outplayed us in the first quarter and they were fantastic. But it just meant that it gave us things to work on. And we had to reset. I took a couple of, there was things said in the media saying I was out coached on the day, so I was a little bit, right, we've got to fix this. So I'm a little bit competitive. So, so I wanted to make sure that I used that as fuel to improve. And losing a final, well, we earned that double chance. So that's what it was there for. So if we're gonna, I'd rather have lost that than lost the prelim or lost the grand final. So it was basically saying, guys, yep, we went through undefeated, put that aside. We finished on top. We earned a double chance irrespective of how many we won or we lost. Let's move on to next week, which is what we did.
Yeah. And Meg, from the netball perspective, I guess, going into the finals, also having gone undefeated, I guess going into a grand final, having not lost a game and being honest, not coming particularly close to losing a game, I guess, how do you stop that complacency from creeping in at that stage?
I think the girls are pretty, as I said before, they're pretty hungry. There was no stopping them. But it's just such a tight bunch of girls, so we just take it easy, stay together, prepare, do what we do every week, and just come out and play like we've played all year. Yeah. And
do you both feel that your teams can get better from here? Do you think they can improve?
There's always improvements, definitely. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that our team is probably better structurally than what it was last year, with a couple of things that we weren't doing well. It feels like we've picked up, but like we said last night, we played against Garfield in the practice match, and our first quarter was awful. But it's opportunities. It's actually given me things to look at now and go, right, this is what they did, this is what we can improve on. So it's given us a basis for training next week. We're playing Coralline next Saturday as well, which is going to be a really tough game. We do have a couple of guys out, which I found out last night. So due to work and different bits and pieces. So it just gives us an opportunity to work on the things that we took out of that game. And if you're not improving, you're standing still, aren't you? So there's always things to work on. We're by far away not a finished product.
Yeah. And where do you feel the netball can improve?
I think we can improve all over the court. We've got a couple of changes, as I mentioned earlier, coming up. So look to the mid-court to be a bit different this year. I think they'll be really versatile, which would be great. So I think we can improve all over the court, and we've got better netball to play. So it's good.
Yeah. I guess, do you guys sort of, the success of both the netball and football programs, I guess, do you think that speaks to the club's culture as a whole?
Yeah, I think so. I think the people that are involved in the club there's obviously a lot of families involved out at the footy club. I certainly think, like, I've learnt a lot from Christy as well, the way she speaks. I've only coached, this is the first time I've coached senior footy, so last year was actually my first full season of coaching senior footy. I'd only coached under 12s and things before that. So, and Christy being so experienced in the way she talks, even when she gets up and talks on Thursday nights, and that, you learn a lot from the way she goes about it. So I've certainly learned a lot from her and from the guys that we've got with us in the coaching group. Tom and Cody are obviously younger than me, but they've played at different levels of footy and they can bring input. So I think it's just everyone learning from each other. One of the big things that we just want to do is I try to say, and which we also say with Christy and the guys, is that we play for the Neerim South Football Netball Club, and you're just representing that team within that club. So whether you're playing F grade, under 16s, reserves, development, seniors, A grade, you're representing the club. So, and that's the sort of culture that we want to bring to the place.
For sure. It goes back to the committee as well, and all the people that help run the club. They're all cats through and through. And, we've got a lot of netballers come through to the committee for the last few years as well, which has brought the club together as well. We're not really a football and netball club anymore. We're just one club.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think that's really important? It seems to be sort of a running theme that clubs are trying to integrate the two, netball and football.
Oh, for sure. We've been doing it for a fair while
Yeah.
now. So, it's just been, we're just seeing the success of that now, I think. So, yeah, for sure.
And I think particularly, we mentioned last year we had a pretty good moment after the grand final quite late at night, which was great out in the middle of the ground. And the thing that we wanted to bring in is that we've been so starved socially over the last couple of years with all the garbage that's been going on. So to actually have those connections and just enjoy the moment. It sounds a little bit, maybe I'm getting a bit old, but just enjoy the moments. I played footy and you played in premierships. I was at Catani and that, and you feel as though that will just keep happening, and it doesn't. So you've just got to be in the moment and enjoy people, enjoy being it. Yeah, it was amazing. Like we won't go into details, but it was everyone got to have their say about things, and it wasn't about sport. It was about their own life and what they brought. And it was we actually had the cameraman who took all our photos, Mad Dog, film it all, and he said, I can't actually put that out anywhere because it was very personal.
It's very emotional.
Yeah.
So I think I'm the only person that's got a copy of it, and I haven't watched it because I think it's just best just to leave it. But a lot of people said lots of things that have happened in their own personal life over the last years and what they brought to play in the finals and things like that, and what it meant to them. And we're hoping just to keep drawing it out that way, because not more so for the club and results and things like that are irrelevant. It's more just around people connecting and enjoying what they do when they're there.
No, that sounds like a really special moment for the club.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. But I think I think it's been a similar sentiment, echoed by a lot of people. I know everyone that we've talked to so far for this series has sort of brought up that fact that, we're still going through COVID, but, now that we're able to play a full season and people are able to come out, and I think, sporting clubs, especially local sporting clubs in rural areas, are just such a powerful tool for just bringing people together and sort of giving towns a sense of community, something that everyone can sort of get behind. So I think, I don't think you're just getting old, Brent. I think that's, you might be, but I think in this case...
No, we all are.
But I think in this case, I think it's a shared sentiment between a lot of different people and a lot of different sporting clubs, especially after the couple of years of real pain that a lot of regional clubs have gone through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think all the clubs in our area, like obviously with my business, I deal a lot with the sporting clubs, and they're all filled with great people. And obviously you get competitive on the weekend and want to beat them, and we don't like this guy, whatever. All the clubs are the same. They've all got fantastic people working. They're all going for the same goal, and it is generally to make the place better for people to enjoy and to be together as a community, and that's what we love about country sport.
Yeah. Definitely.
Now, Meg, I just wanted to touch a bit on, I know we've mentioned Christy Urey a couple of times, but pretty much everyone that we've talked to about the club has just mentioned the profound impact that she's had, which, you guys have echoed here.
Yeah.
So I guess, did you want to touch on a bit, I guess, about the real impact she's had from day one since she's walked through the door?
Oh, sure. The day she got here, she was just professional and lovely, so approachable, and her knowledge and experience she's just willing to share with everyone right through from the top, from the football, all the way down to the juniors as well. So she has a profound effect, and we're very, very lucky to have her.
Yeah.
But her knowledge is fabulous when it comes to netball, football, getting people together.
Yeah.
Just from a sporting club perspective as well. So she's been fabulous for the club.
Yeah, awesome. And I guess, Brent, as a coach, I know you've just mentioned that last year was your first full year as a senior coach. I guess, what lessons did you sort of take out of that?
Heaps. My coaching background has been through business, so I previously worked for a large company, and my role was to coach sales. So a lot of the stuff that I'd taken from that, a lot of the principles are very similar. You can move them across from business to sport, but it's probably just managing individuals. Everyone's got a different level of need and what they want. Some people don't want to be spoken to. Some people want lots and lots of feedback, and it's just managing that to make sure that people are getting what they want from it, to have their performance at the level that they can get it to. But you learn a lot about yourself and how you can manage your time, and also probably one of the biggest things that I needed to learn is learning when to switch off and actually have balance, because I tend to find when I do something I'm passionate about, I put everything into it, and at some stage you can take a little bit too much on, and that's when you've just got to push back and just make sure you're doing the right things, and your family and business and everything is all balanced. So that's I mentioned that word a few times, but it's very important.
Yeah. So do you feel your experiences last year will make you a better coach this year?
Yeah. Oh well, it has to. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I mean, you hope to improve. You hope that you're doing a better job. I hope so. The feedback for it's probably not up to me to say. To be up to the players whether they're enjoying it. I don't ask for feedback really too much. It's more just having talked to them about how they're enjoying it. But it appears everything's going okay so far. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. And I guess again, cutting forward to this season, we mentioned that last year was such a dominant year for both the netball and the football sides. I guess that means, you're going to have every other club, that's sort of looking at you guys, trying to beat you guys. You're going to have the target on your back.
Yeah.
Suppose, how do you navigate that, having the entire league trying to all take you down?
Yeah.
I think that comes down to just how tight we are, both as a football club and netball club. I think we can sort of put all that aside and just focus on ourselves and what we want to achieve through the season, and just focus on us.
Yeah.
Not worry about the outside.
100% agree. At the old 1 week at a time, but
Yeah.
but yeah, just and it is as simple as that. Like even last year, going through both sides, going through undefeated towards the end of the year, that was already happening. So people were like, well, they're on top, they haven't lost the game, it's up to us. And
Exactly.
you do tend to find that I've been in the position playing for a team where we were getting flogged by 200 points every week. I've been in a team that's gone through and won premierships as well. And you do, when you're at the lower end of the scale and you're playing against the higher teams, you do tend to try to play better. And so your performances can be harder to maintain because you're always getting the best out of the other side usually. So yeah, it's just a matter of focusing on ourselves and control. I always say just control the controllables. Just do what you can do, and just follow the steps that we want to take to improve.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Amazing. And did you want to give us maybe a brief outline of what people are going to expect on the court and on the field this year?
Oh, well, pretty similar to last year, actually. You're going to see a really tough defensive end that work their butt off, an attacking end that never give up, and just a well-oiled team.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to see.
Yeah, and we just hope to improve. We've the general structure of the team has stayed the same. We have moved a couple of positions around in guys in different spots to suit the game style that we want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But our goal is always to be, I think I wrote down, to be the highly skilled, structured team in the league. So that's what we aim towards at training and game day. So we just hope that we can improve, and we feel like we're in a really good spot to just continue on, and whatever happens towards the end of the year happens. We've got a pretty tough draw. I know that, which is obviously the way it's going to be. But yeah, having Bullen in round one is our focus at the moment, and then Easter, and then we go from there.
Yeah, well, I was going to touch on that, I suppose, the grand final rematch, first up round one. What's how are the boys feeling about that? Yeah,
good. I think we have the utmost respect for Bullen, and Bob's a fantastic coach. I've known him for a long time. And the biggest challenge is to not build that up to be too big, because there's 19 other rounds after that. So you've got to make sure that it is round one and it's the start of the year. So we want to make sure that that's not, a lot of the time when you build up a round one game and move to the second game, there can be quite a big drop off with people's levels of enthusiasm, and that's almost like playing a final. So keeping it as normal as we can. Obviously, playing Coralline this week is going to be a really big challenge, and then taking the learnings from that and putting it into round one.
Yeah. I guess touching on practice games, I know you said you played one against Garfield and you got coming up against Coralline. What about the netball? Have they jumped into any practice matches yet?
Yeah, we had a practice match against Garfield as well last week though. We didn't have one together. Yeah, really well. We're all the way through from juniors through to seniors. All did really well.
Yeah.
And we also have the Coralline's a full club practice match.
Yeah.
Yeah, so juniors up through to seniors. So.
Yeah.
Did you sort of take any lessons out of that first practice game back?
Well, we have our practice matches obviously to work on things that we want to do through the season, but we still haven't got our teams sorted also. So it's a really good opportunity for the coaches to sit back and have a look at different combinations, see what works, and see who we want to put into that A grade team. So yeah, that's what we do really.
Yeah, and Brent, I know you mentioned the Garfield game.
Yep.
Perhaps didn't start the way that you would have liked. I guess what did you take out of that game that's going to make you better for round one?
Oh, it's probably just getting you training. We do a lot of match simulation at training, and the guys probably, or some guys do, but most guys go at around 70-80% physicality because you don't want to injure your own teammates. Garfield I think it was their second or third practice match, so they were sort of starting to get into the groove a bit, and I think just our physicality and man on man wasn't great. But that was to be expected, and once we sort of switched over with the second quarter and third quarter, we played really well. So it will take a couple of weeks, but that's to be expected. But the guys are all they're demanding straight away in the first quarter. I'm like, calm down, guys. Like everyone's, it's the first game. So, which is really good because it shows that the intensity and the expectations are still really high. Which was good. And Garfield were under mandate a fair few guys out as well. So it's more, we don't tend to worry about the opposition too much in the practice match and the results. It's more the outputs of what we want to achieve. So we don't tend to do matchups or anything like that. It's more concentrating on what we want to achieve. So, we'll just take learnings out of that. I've got a couple of things that we want to work on this week at training out of last night, and I'm sure there'll be more after playing Coralline as well. So,
So I guess going into 2023, I guess what's exciting you the most?
Just going again.
Yeah,
just going
exactly.
again. It was pretty special last year, and we just want to. Both clubs, both teams, divisions of the footy club and netball club, we just want to achieve success. So just driving to do that again. It's pretty special to win premierships, and I think now that the guys, it's been obviously a long time since the footy club. It was 24 years or something since we won a premiership. So
21, I think. For netball. So
it's just to have a crack, at least be put in the position to do it again. That's what we would like to achieve.
So I guess that drought for both the netball and football teams, I guess, made it a whole lot more special.
Definitely. It was extremely special.
And more so for like Meg mentioned earlier, the committee and off field. Like there's so many people that directly can't have an impact on what happens on court or on field, so they live and die by what we do on the field as well, but they're always there doing everything off the field and off the court, and that's who it's really special for when you have success.
Okay.
Fantastic. Do we have any more questions?
Well, I suppose the last one would probably be, if you were speaking directly to Neerim fans right now who may be listening or watching, what would your message be coming into a new season?
Get around us. Get around us. We're looking forward to the year. We feel that from a football perspective, we're set up again to have a successful year. So come down, get to our functions, get to the games, support the club as best as you can. We've got a fantastic groups on and off the court that support us, and we've got fantastic sponsors and everything set up. The club's running really well. We've got a great facility down there now, and everything's going really well.
Yeah, definitely. I think you said it all there, Brent. Just come and be around the club.
Yeah.
Get around us.
Well, thanks so much for coming down and talking to us, guys. And hopefully we'll be able to catch up a bit later in the season and find out how you've been going and have a chat about that.
Great. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
Absolutely.
no
Thanks
worries.
for having us.
All right.